Welcome to the Your Limitless Leadership podcast with Jenny and Brent Widman. Here, we believe leadership isn't just about titles. It's about how you show up in every aspect of life. Whether you're leading a business, building a legacy as an entrepreneur, guiding your family, or striving to lead yourself first, this podcast is for you. Join us as we dive into real conversations about growth, decision-making, and the courage it takes to lead with purpose. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and equipped to become the limitless leader you are meant to be. This is Your Limitless Leadership podcast. Let's lead without limits. Welcome to Your Limitless Leadership, Mrs. Jenny Widman and Mr. Brent Widman. And today, I know I say this quite a bit, but I just love the topics. I absolutely love them because it's one of those things where today we're going to talk about creating emotion and creating emotion, whether it's with your team, whether it's with your spouse, whether it's with in sales, whether you're trying to sell something, whatever it is. There are different facets of the cycle of the sale, if you will, and that comes in different areas, whether it's recruiting, like I just talked about, all the different things. But where we should spend the majority of our time is asking questions, creating emotion in the introduction. And I feel, talking to so many leaders and so many salespeople and doing this for years, that is where we fail more often than not, because that leads into the presentation where we spend the majority of our time because we're taught industry knowledge, facts, features, functions. So the majority of us spend time there. And it leads into referrals, it leads into closing, it leads into all these other facets that when you master the aspect of digging in with people and really creating emotion and asking really good questions, you're going to have rich people problems. Let's call it what it is. That's just really what's going to happen. And where we see, I don't know if Jenny feels the same way. I'll ask you in a second, obviously. But where I see so many people where they get held back is from that specifically. So welcome, Mrs. Widman. That is our topic for today. But I would love to get your input on that and how you feel, whether it's recruiting, leadership, sales, what have you. Yeah, tell me what your thoughts are on that.
I was actually talking yesterday on a coaching call with a Morgan Stanley leader, and how often we go straight into the facts, the features of working with such a great company and all these things without really just spending an entire conversation, dinner, lunch around pain points, around just where people are at. And this can be in sales or this can be in recruiting. It does not matter. It's this thing that I see often. We stray away from the second and third level questions. We stray away from getting people to relive a bad experience or relive what they're currently going through in this moment, to bring up that pain because it's uncomfortable. And when people see that someone's uncomfortable, we want to aid that. We want to quickly go to that and comfort them and get them to not talk about it. Get them to not, dig in of what's really going on, because we want, like, our mind says we need to stay in this comfort zone. But gosh, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to get people to sit in that pain. How important it is. We always say crying is selling, right? Like, how, if you ask the right types of questions to draw out emotion in whoever you're talking to, you're that one step closer in earning that person's trust to do business with you or to work with you. And
Wow.
If we can just help people have a paradigm shift and help them see that we need to sit in it and we need to be uncomfortable, then we'll close a lot more. That's my take.
That was Oh, you said a lot of nuggets in there, and that's one of the things that sales is a transference of emotion.
Mm.
And when you talked about stray away, because it's easy to take somebody at face value. How are you doing? I'm fine. Or tell me about your business. Well, it's going good, blah, blah, blah. What are your goals? Well, I want to do this, this, and this. Oh, we have a great spot for you. That is face value. Instead of asking why and why and why, and tell me more about that. Why is that so important to you? All these different things that we can do, that we simply just take things at what it is. And there's all this underlying stuff, all these things that we can dig in with, but then we try to take them and tell them how great we are or our product is or what we can do and how we can do it. And it boggles my mind, Jen, like when you just talked about the pain and face value and straying away and the trust and make people cry, like that's what gets people to open up. And part of this is, and again, you taught me this years ago, the adage of just shut up and listen. And when you ask a question, listen to people. There is this power that people know. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to do anything. But when one of the best compliments I think I've ever gotten is you're really easy to talk to. Because I don't care to talk. I want to hear your story. And when you want to hear people's stories, that's what you just touched on. And I really wanted to hit that because that's not normal. That's a developed thing. Now, some people are pretty good at it, but it's a developed thing over time. I guess I would ask that. What are different ways that we can get better at that? How can we do that? What are things that I don't know, it's word tracks or something like that that we could use to help with that?
Mm-hmm. And you are really good at listening. If there's one thing any
Sunny?
male that is on this call that is married and you can swall with your wife, you have earned brownie points. Let me tell
Right.
you. So, marriage 101 right there. But same when it comes to recruiting or sales. Like when you're in an interview situation and you can swallow and you're doing more listening than the talking, you are creating deposits of trust in that bank account of yours for that person. So that's all you're really trying to do. Another compliment that I love getting is that's a really good question, because then they sit there, they think about it, and you're getting a genuine answer if that's their first reaction to a question that you're saying. But yeah, the second and third level questions, I mean, read books on it, like look it up. Like it's powerful because you have a surface level question and it can just be something simple, right? Like, what are you looking for in your next career? Or in sales, it could be, what are you currently doing? Or what are you currently using? Right? It's a surface level question. It's not a second and third level question. But when you really go into, hey, tell me about a time where you've experienced that, or tell me more about that, or how have you dealt with critical feedback in the past? Share the experience with me. Like, you want to not say yes and no questions. I mean, we need open-ended questions for sure, but you want them to go into reliving things. And when you can relive a past pain, a past experience that was not a great memory, and you can provide solutions for it later in your short presentation, then you've sold. You've sold. So if there's one thing that I would say someone needs to get better at, it's really developing second and third level questions in your interview process or in your sit down conversation that you can really dig into that.
One of the things you said there too, and not in so many words, was when you ask the question, when you ask something, let them process. So many times we want to jump in and answer the question for them because we typically know the answer. We know how it works or what they're looking for, what they need. So we'll answer it for them. But even within, let's talk about that, right? Even within marriage, if you ask me something or you need something and I just answer it for you because I know the logical answer and this is the way I would do it, that does nothing for you at all. You weren't looking for the answer. But if we ask somebody, how would you handle that? And then they tell you something. Why? Why would you handle it that way? Tell me more about that. Why is that so important? Now you're telling me more and the reasons behind it that you're going to walk out and you're actually going to do it instead of me trying to solve that for you. And I think that's the mark we miss at times because we're so ingrained in us, and it's not a bad thing, but it's ingrained in us to just solve, especially dudes, let's call it what it is, to solve the problem for you because that's why you're asking us. And again, you said swall. All that is shut up and listen. So you know what she's talking about. That's what I mean by she taught me that I used to try to just solve her issues. We'll just do it this way. It's that simple. And she'd look at me like, it's not what I'm looking for right now, right? In a good way. But it's the same thing with your team. If you're not doing one-on-ones or creating emotion or really digging in with your team, you're just telling them what to do or what you would do. That doesn't make it right for them. We're all different. And if you want to retain your people or if you want to recruit people, you have to be with them, not just tell them. And that's a whole different ball game, man. Like that's when leadership starts to happen. You may question yourself as a leader, but that's when things I see you chopping at the bit there. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, as you're talking, it reminded me of something that happened last night with our 4-year-old and the emotion that gets created with patience too. So every night, HUD has a job, and his job is to turn on all of our Christmas lights, and his job is to turn off all the Christmas lights. Like that's his job. And so he gets home from school, and I said to him, "Hey, buddy, can you please go out there and do your job?" He's like, "Yes, mommy." So he runs out the door and he attempts to put on the Christmas lights. He comes in and he is so mad. He is frustrated. He's like, "Mommy, I can't do it. I can't do it, mommy." And I go, "Honey, we don't use that word. Tell me what's going on." And he's like, I can't see. I can't see. And the thing won't go in the hole. And I go, "Okay, we don't use that word. What can you ask me to do?" And he goes, "Can you please help me?" I go, "Yes." So I go out there with my phone to put the flashlight on and I put it on the, holes. He gets and he puts the two things into the holes, right? And all our Christmas lights are up. He looks at me with the biggest joy in his face, like the biggest joy. We go inside. He's super happy. He's like, "I did that. Yay." All that to say, it's like that happiness doesn't get created if I just go out there and do it for him. That happiness doesn't get created if I'm not, "Hey, settle down. Talk to me about what's going on. Tell me more. What can I help with? Can you ask for my help?" And then when he asks for my help, the emotion gets created. Emotion's created no matter what, but it's either non-existent because I did it for him and just took care of it. And now it's my job for the foreseeable future, right? Or we can figure out what's going on and I can help and figure out some solutions around it. But I'm saying all that because how many times in our creating emotion with your team, with your recruits, with sales, we give them the answer. We tell them how they should feel. We tell them what how they're feeling, instead of just sitting back and being like, hey, I see you're frustrated. Hey, I've seen you've been frustrated before. Tell me more about that. What's missing? What's not working? What are you looking for? And when you can ask those types of questions to dig in, you create wins with people. You don't create enablement with people. Anyway, that's what I was looking to say, because I was just like, this is such a good correlation to everyday situations.
If you're listening to this and you're thinking, that's me, you're not alone. Let's call it what it is. You've got the drive, you've got the experience, like you have it. You have it. You know what you're doing. But something still feels off at times, or things could be better. We know that. They can be. You know there's more. What we do is we help committed leaders go from guessing and grinding to really leading with clarity and structure and confidence. We're offering complimentary DNA strategy calls. We're going to evaluate how you're leading, where performance might be breaking down. It happens. And what really needs to tighten up within your business, within your leadership, within those people around you. Then we're going to take this next step. And what we're going to do is build accountability, the skills and the systems to create that consistent or those consistent results around it. If you're open to digging in a little bit, the link is below in the show notes. Just book your DNAcall.com and we will find time for you and we will dig in with you. All right, let's get back to it. The only other thing that I think we missed there a little bit, not missed, like didn't say, if you would have just told him how to do it, like you said, right? Go plug it in. Like if he's frustrated and you're like, well, all you got to do is this, just walk out there and plug it in. If you wouldn't have asked the question, you wouldn't have known that he couldn't see. So it wasn't about just go do it, which is what so many of us want to do. Well, this is how our product works, or this is how you should do it because this is the way we do it. Instead, you said, hey, buddy, what's the issue? What's going on? You would have never known that he couldn't see. We got to know what people can see. We got to know what the issue is. We got to know what the problem is. And again, if you would have taken it at face value, we wouldn't have known that. And that I love that story because that is spot on with what we're talking about here. I was just having, it's funny you say Morgan, same kind of conversation. And one of our coaching clients, Jeremy, runs the newer people in New York and Morgan. And he had a speaker come in. And of the 21 newer advisors that speak, one of them showed up. And he is not happy about it. Let's call it what it is. And instead of just going in and giving him the business, which he's going to do, we have to ask, do you want to be successful? Like, why are you here? We got to create that emotion in them first to get them to see how valuable it is to do the things or work with you or whatever it is. And that's, if we just go tell somebody you need to be here because you need to be here, that's going to get lost. It just is. All right, I'll show up, but then they're not coming in intentional. They're not coming in trying to get something out of it or with a purpose or how to implement things or seeing it from a different point of view or how important it is to develop yourself and all these different nuances that go with it. Like that's the part of asking really effective questions. Not even effective. I don't want to say that because I know I used to get lost. Like when people told me to ask really good questions, I didn't know what that meant. I just simply didn't know what that meant. Jenny already touched on it. It's the, why is that so important to you, right? Tell me more about that. Those are the kind of questions we're talking about. But it's also, it's body language too, where it's almost leaning back in your chair, putting your pen down and just saying, tell me about that. How come? That's it. And that is more powerful than, well, you know what you should do? You should walk back out and plug those lights in because that's how they're going to turn on, HUD. See the difference there? It's funny, isn't it, that we don't think about that till we see it right in front of us. Huh.
I will add, I wanted to so bad just do it. because I was in the middle of making dinner. I had 500 things to do. The last thing I needed to do was figure out where my phone was, go out there, put the light. Like, it wasn't the easiest thing, but it's also like, it teaches more than it empowers more than it enables. So it's do the hard thing. Hey, can you, so, in context, we are a fractional VP of sales for a company, and you did a really good exercise one time with the emotion, the song exercise or whatnot. Could you talk about that?
Which one was it? Tell me more. Tell me more about that.
The song exercise that we did with Brent High and those guys.
Oh, okay.
Words, and then, listening.
Do you want me to read the words of the song?
Yeah.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. You got to talk about something while I'm looking for the
Well, I just remember sitting there and I was like, wow, I've not heard this exercise be done. But, you go back to one of the most emotional days in your life, and it's your wedding day, if you're lucky enough to have that wedding day. And
I was lucky. I'll tell you that. I was lucky enough.
And so that alone creates emotion. And so when Brent did this exercise and he just read the words to our first song, our first dance song,
So Jenny and I got married a few years back. And part about we were teaching that team to create emotion in appointments, and I used our song, like she just said, it's called "Forever After All" by Luke Combs, and I'm going to read the lyrics. Okay, now some of you, if you haven't heard this song, you may want to go listen to the song. But here's the difference: a cold beer's got 12 ounces, a good truck's got maybe 300,000. You only get so much until it's gone. Duracells and a Maglite, a needle drop on a 45 are the kind of things that only last so long. When the new wears off and they get to getting old, sooner or later, time's going to take its toll. They say nothing lasts forever, but they ain't seen us together. Or the way the moonlight dances in your eyes. Just a t-shirt in the kitchen with no makeup and a million other things that I could look at my whole life. A love like that makes a man have second thoughts. Maybe some things last forever after all. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the song, and I might give you too much insight here, but almost every time I hear that song, well, I shouldn't tell you this, Jen, but when I'm by myself, it almost brings me to tears because I think about the time, I think about the times that we are together and the times that we do things. It's not the words in the song, it is, but it's how they're sung. It's how they're portrayed. It's how they're given. It's how they're done. We can all read words. We can all read scripts. We can all do those types of things. But it's how you bring yourself and how you show up as a person, as a leader, as a spouse, whatever it is. Like, that's the difference between that. And that was kind of the analogy. And it's funny you remember that because it just dawned on me before that training itself. I'm like, this song means the world to me. But if I just read the lyrics, it's just words on a sheet of paper. But when you bring it to life and really put emotion around it, that's when things change. And that's the difference in what, I don't know what percentage here, but the majority of the sales or leadership population does. The really good ones create emotion and actually listen and swallow and have the give a shit factor, if you will. I don't know how else to say it, but they care about people. And that's, wow, I can't believe you remember that. That was months back. That's funny.
I know, but I just think it's a great lesson for people. It's going to be a different song for whoever's listening to this. It's going to be a different day in your life. Maybe you had a very emotional day and someone passed away and it was a song at their funeral. Whenever I listen to It's a Wonderful World, It's a Wonderful Life, I tear up because I know that one day that song is going to make me very, very sad because that's the song my dad wants at his funeral. So, it's the reason why I'm saying these things And why did you bring that up? Is I want people on this call to dig into that emotion, to really, like, even if you have to listen to a song before you go into an important meeting or something, like, it's getting you to be present. It's getting you to know what's really important and what's really in front of you. The sale is made in the introduction. It's not made in the close. It's not made in the presentation. That's just afterthought. It's made in that connection piece, and connection only happens with really true, genuine emotion. And as much as I love AI, and AI has done so much for me with just business in general, it will never, ever replace human to human contact and emotion. And so
No.
I just, we always have job security when you're in the service industry for that reason, because people long it. People need it now more than ever. After COVID, like, more than ever, people need it. So yes, that was, go back to your wedding day song and listen to it and really draw in that emotion if you have a happy marriage.
I gotta tell another tidbit on that, because that's so when we have, here's how I'll say this. When you know your language and when you know how to create things in people, okay? So like when I shouldn't give this little tidbit, but whenever I do a keynote and there's an emotional place that I need to bring people in to me or our workshop or whatever it is, I go back. This one's going to be tough too. I think about when I found out the first time my dad had cancer.
Mm.
Because that is it's really emotional for me, where our parents are supposed to be invincible. Like they are. And then it makes me think about, what if I can't ask my dad a question, or what if I can't call him on how to fix something, or what if there's those little nuances from him? And that's the stuff I think about, because it brings me to an emotional place that I want to bring other people in with me to the emotional place. That's just part of it. But again, that's knowing enough and how to use it, that obviously I'm not saying you're going to cry in from somebody, right? That kind of thing. But have your places that you bring yourself to that helps other people feel it, because that's what I mean by it is a transference of emotion. When you feel it, they're going to feel it. And if you're just like this, they're not going to feel anything. And it's part of I know we're kind of given direction here, but it's the vocal inflection as well. If you hear me right now, I'm slowing down. If I talk like this, we're excited. But when you're creating emotion and people, slow down. People know. People feel that. And that's the kind of tidbit that I wanted to give you. What I don't know what it is for you, if it's a song, if it's a parent, if it's somebody you care about, or whatever it is. Like again, like you talked, I know this is getting emotional, but we went to it wasn't a funeral, it was a wake last week. And the Eric Church song that was on I don't know if you noticed that, it was on the, whatever they're called, the pamphlet that they give that talks about who they are. I loaded that song. And this one's hard too. His name's Chad. And it talks about how he has one arm around his baby and one arm around his boys. And that's what the song, that's what the song was about. His wife and his two boys, his kids. And if that doesn't move you emotionally, I don't know what does. So it's those types of things that we have to move to that place. That it's funny that we're even feeling it right now, and you can feel it anytime. You just have to know how to create that in people. And that is that is what it means that people buy an emotion and they back it up with logic. They just do. And when people want to be with you, they want to like you, they want to be a part of you. Does it work 100% of the time? I'm not going to sit here and say it does. But does it work a lot more than me feature dumping on you and telling you how great I am or our product is or how much I can do for you? It sure does. Yeah. Yep. How you like that, Jen?
It's better than these surface level conversations that people have all the time. It's exhausting. Hi, how are you? How are you? What's going on? It's like, how's the weather? Oh, it snowed. It's like people want more than that. And it's your job, whether you're a leader or salesperson or you have a whole team underneath you, to always have these authentic, deeper conversations. So, yeah.
If you believe it wholeheartedly as well and what you do and how you do it, people will believe that as well. That's a big part of it too. So hope this helps. This is a obviously an emotional one today, but it's something that I don't know. It's something I wish I could take that know-how and transfer it to people, because I feel like we all be a lot better off if we just swallowed at times. So shut up and listened, or asked really good questions, or just dug in with people and sat back and understood what they're really about instead of what we want them to be about. So
Awesome.
if you like what you hear, I would love to, we would love, all of us would love to have a conversation with you. DNAcall.com, because we want to know your DNA. That is what this is about. We want to know what you're all about and what makes you tick, and if this is a fit for you. Reach out to us, DNAcall.com, your limitless coach. Thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us on the Your Limitless Leadership podcast with Jenny and Brent Widman. We hope today's conversation inspired you to think differently about leadership, not just in your career, but in every part of your life. Remember, leadership starts with leading yourself first. It's about taking action, making bold decisions, and showing up with purpose. Now, it's time to take what you've heard today and put it into practice. Whether it's in your business, your community, your family, or your own personal growth, start leading without limits. You have the power to become the leader you're meant to be. Until next time, keep pushing your boundaries and leading with purpose.